going to go ahead and get started. Alma and Alyssa are going to help me out in the chat if you guys have questions, and they will be letting people in if they arrive a little bit late. So if you hear little chimes, it's likely for people who are arriving a little bit late. So thank you, Alyssa and Alma, for helping me out with that. They're also here because they're the ones that deal with all of our enrollment pieces throughout the year, and they're much more adept at handling some of your questions. So if I could, I'm going to go ahead and get started because I'll respect your time. I know we're all very busy this time of the year and it's a Friday, so I just want to take up a little tiny bit of your time as we start talking about kindergarten. We are already thinking about the 2021-22 school year. So we're excited to possibly have your students join us for the next school year. We usually start enrolling in January for the following school year. So Torrance Unified is excited to welcome the new little ones into the school year. Unfortunately, it's a strange time, but we hope that COVID is a little bit more handled next year, and next year's beginning for your students will be a little bit more normal than this year has been. So we're crossing our fingers for next school year. So we wanted to make sure that this is for Torrance residents who are ready, whose children will be turning for probably 5 years old for the next school year. If you don't live within Torrance boundaries, you can apply for a permit, but that's a bit of another process. And we will be having a permit workshop in January as well regarding permits. So that's just one caveat before we get started. So as I mentioned, kindergarten is only available to students who were born between September 2nd, 2015 and September 1st, 2016. Is that correct, ladies? Yes. Okay. All kindergarten students must be 5 years old on or before September 1st, 2021. Transitional kindergarten is only available to students between September 2nd and December 2nd. And that's specifically, we as a district have chosen to be very strict about those guidelines. So unfortunately, we can't make exceptions to that rule. We have to stick to that. It's just based on that arbitrary guideline based on the state. Okay. Also, enrollment requirement number 1 is proof of age. So what you're going to need to provide to us is either a birth certificate, a passport, or a birth record from the hospital where your child was born. Any of those 3 will work. You don't need all 3 of them. One of them is enough to show the proof of age of your child. Also, the second thing you will have to provide is proof of immunizations. So the state of California mandates that all children have to be fully immunized before they attend school. So unfortunately, we can't bend on that either. So you have an option. You can either provide the old yellow card that we used to collect or have. Now doctors are becoming much more technological. And so they have printouts you can access that have the name of the child, that has the birth date, and also has the location of the clinic or the physician that provided the immunization. Keep in mind that we do have to have records that have the date that each of those immunizations were given. It could be any sort of record, but it has to have those things on the record for the child. Also, here are some examples. It may be a white card, it may be a yellow card, it might be a printout from your doctor or clinic. Also, so that you know where it is available, you can go to Shots for Schools, or you can go to the TUSD website so that you can access information on how to download the immunization guideline there. So we have it on our website or at Shots for Schools, okay? I'm not going to go through each one, but it's listed there for you, and we will go over the rest of the slides for you. If you have questions, you can always reach out to us. Enrollment requirement number 3 is your 2 proofs of residence within the city of Torrance. You can always, if you're curious about what school might be for your child, you can go to tusd.org, and at the very top there's a school locator link. It's kind of small, but it's in a brown toolbar, and you can click on it and see what schools would apply for your child. If you type in your address, it'll show you a map. Double check that that's the right address, that you're on the right location, and then it'll show you what elementary school, what middle school, and what high school is for your address. Remember, if you don't live within Torrance, we will be having a permit workshop in January. Also, the proofs of residence that we mentioned, you do need 2 proofs of residence that are recent, so nothing older than 60 days. So we need something within the last 2 months. And please note that the parent or guardian must be the primary account holder. So they need to be located on both parts of the bill, and the mailing and the service address have to be the same. So if you're getting your bills mailed somewhere else, keep in mind that you might want to use another bill that does have your actual street address and service address there matching. We don't normally take disconnect notices because you may be moving or whatever is going on. We don't take cell phone bills, unfortunately, and we are not unfortunately able to take screenshots or profiles of the account. We do have to have you download the PDF of the full bill. There is a guideline online on our website as well that gives you more specifics on that. There's a lot of different things you can provide, not just utility bills like electric, gas, water, or trash, cable, internet as well, but also you could provide a paycheck stub that's recent, a mortgage statement that's recent, a property tax bill, a lease or a rental agreement with all the signatures. Home landline, I know not a lot of people have those, but that is something you could use, or recent government correspondence that you've received in the mail that needs to be dated as well. Make sure that if you're not able to provide some of these, you can contact our office and we can try and troubleshoot and figure out what we might be able to take in lieu of those things. Also, here is a quick tip so that when you're accessing your bill online, make sure that you, as I mentioned, click on view bill and download the full PDF of the bill. So we can't take those screenshots as I mentioned. Here is all of the dates that you do need to have. So make sure that if you don't know already what school your child may be attending, you can check the school locator to find out which schools. And we start off with different schools. It's usually 1 or 2 schools per week. We're starting with Victor Elementary School in January, on January 11th. And then we're moving on to Anza Towers and so forth and so on. So you can locate which school, and you do have to enroll during that time period. Okay. At this time, we anticipate that we will still be holding enrollments via emails. So you will be able to email in your enrollment packets at that time. Okay. Also, just for information purposes, we also like to provide information. We have 2 options usually at our school district. We have the YMCA, which is on many of our campuses, and also there is the City of Torrance, which has some schools that have it, but they usually may not serve kindergarten. So the YMCA is usually the provider of choice, and you can contact them directly to find out on how to enroll. We look forward to having you enroll with us. The enrollment forms will be available on our website at tusd.org/parent/enrollment beginning on Friday, January 8th. So that's right before we start with our first school. And make sure that you send it in during the week that your school is enrolling, so we don't get mixed up on different schools. Okay, so we will go ahead and open it up for questions to see if anybody has any questions at this time.
Hi, I have a question. My child is at Torrance Tykes right now, but I'm not a resident of Torrance, but I work in Torrance. So how does that work with the permit?
So we do have permits that are starting March 1st. So you could apply to a school in Torrance if you would like March 1st. If you want to join us in January, we'll be going over the details of the permit process. So that you can get a better idea, but just so that you know, right before March, we will be releasing the permit application online. You will be able to apply to our schools, and then once we find out if those schools have space, we let you know, and then you can enroll after that. Okay,
so when does the permit application come out? In January?
Yes, we'll be releasing it in January, right before I would say maybe at the end of January, so that we don't have it. We usually will not release it that early, but we might release it at the end of January. But keep an eye out on our website.
And do I get like since I work in Torrance, is that an advantage for me?
So our district only does permits based on first, space availability, then grades, attendance, behavior. If your child is kindergarten, it's usually just space available at the schools that you're requesting.
Okay, because he's in Torrance Tykes, but I know that's a different program. So
Yeah, you can
okay.
always let them know that they were there.
Okay.
You ask on the form where they were before.
Okay, so do I need to get something from my school district from Hawthorne?
You do, yes. We need a release from your home district, okay?
Okay.
But we'll go over that in January as well in that
Okay.
workshop. Anybody else
Okay.
have any questions about
Thank
kinder?
you.
Hi,
You're welcome.
I had a question about the proof of residence.
Yes,
On your presentation, it didn't show car registration as one of the proofs of residence, but I saw it somewhere else that you could use your car registration for the current year.
yes. For the current year, your car registration can be used as well.
Okay, so we could use car registration and like a paycheck stub or lease agreement or something like that.
Yes.
Okay, what about a driver's license with your address on it?
Your
Is that one
driver's
of the?
license unfortunately doesn't work. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
your just your for identity purposes. Mhm.
Oh, okay, but for car registration, that's okay.
Yes, that works. Mhm.
Okay, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, I have a question.
Yes.
So my kids go to Lincoln, but when we moved to Torrance, like 5 years ago, they send it, well, I think our homeschool is Edison. So they sent my kids to Lincoln because there wasn't any space. So I would prefer my kindergartner to go to their school. Do I have to apply for like a school district transfer? I don't know.
Yes,
Okay.
if your kids are at a school that is not their school of residence, then if you want your kindergartner to go to the same school, which doesn't is not their area school, you
Right.
need to apply for open enrollment for your youngest child.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
Open enrollment is open from January to February, so make sure you check in January on our website so that you can apply for that. Mhm. Anyone
So
else?
open enrollment is only if you're trying to go to a school that's outside of your home school, right? The school that you're assigned to?
Yes.
Okay, and are you guaranteed a spot at the home school that you should be assigned to?
If you enroll in January, yes, you should be. The only school that has issues with space at this time is Victor Elementary School. If your school is Victor,
Okay,
there may be an issue with space. Any other
okay,
school, yeah.
so I shouldn't have to worry if my daughter is supposed to have her homeschool as like Lincoln or
No,
something.
you should be fine, as long as you
Okay,
enroll prior to school starting.
okay, during that week that was on that last slide.
The only
Okay.
people who get overflowed are families who enroll after school starts. It's usually after the first 5 days, then we have to start overflowing kids to other school sites.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Yes. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Tatsuya. Thanks so much for your time today. So I have a question. My physical address is Gardena, but then I have a neighbor who actually goes to Arlington. And then, we've been told that like they can just assign well, I guess we are supposed to go to Arlington, but then the physical address is actually Gardena. So do we still have to do the what you're saying, the to get the permit?
I would double check your address in the school locator. There are a few Gardena addresses that do apply to Torrance Unified School District.
Okay.
It's a small strip of a few blocks. And I'm not sure exactly which addresses they are. So if you go to tusd.org, if you go to the very top toolbar, click on school locator, type in your address.
So the one that's on the enrollment requirement number 3, you put it the TUSD school locator. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So when you go
Okay.
to the TUSD.org, you can type in your address and then it will show you whether it's Torrance schools, or if you're outside of Torrance Unified, it will say you're outside of the area.
Okay. So if it says outside of the area, then of course we're gonna have to get the permission. But then if it doesn't say that if it actually says that it's within the Torrance Unified School District area, then we don't have to do the get the permission. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, got it. Thanks so much.
No problem. Any other questions?
I have one question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, like, if we enroll in Jan, is it like first come first serve basis? Like the sooner you apply, there are more chances to get a space in a school in your district?
You mean for permits?
Not for the permits, for the if I'm a resident in the same district, school district.
If you if you're just enrolling for the school that applies for your address, it's not first come, first served. Everybody gets in to the school that applies to their address, unless it's Victor Elementary School. That is a lottery. And so we will be discussing the lottery. There's more information on our website, but usually it's all of the students who enroll for Victor are entered into a lottery, and the students who get chosen for the lottery get to enroll at Victor.
Got you.
Okay,
Okay.
but everybody else should be fine.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry, I have one more question. So, to get a permit, the permit has to be approved, but the people that are applying for permits can't enroll until March, correct?
So
Or the-
first in March, you can apply for the permits. Once you get approved by the schools that have space, then you get provided information as to when you can enroll. So it's any time after March, depending on when the schools let you know if you're accepted.
Oh, so we get the permit first and then apply.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
then you would enroll. Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. There was a question in the chat about the school calendar. Yes, I'm not sure if the 21-22 school year calendar is up on our website. We will double check. And if we can, we will share that with the PowerPoint as well. But you can always go to tusd.org, click on district calendar, and then you should be able to see it. Thank you, Alma. She's indicating that the 21-22 school year calendar is not yet available. Probably in the next couple of months, it will be available. As soon as you see it, you will see it in the district calendar area. The dates for enrollment are going to be available on our enrollment website, probably next week. Okay. Any other questions?
Hi, I have a question.
Yes.
My question is, my son will be going to Lincoln Elementary, and he has autism, a mild form. Is there anything we do for the IEPs? How do we go about that?
Has your
Do we
child
go
been
through
at
the school?
launch?
No, we haven't, because due to COVID, I was afraid to put him, because we have family members that have illness, you know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Does
so
he
we
already
can't-
have an IEP?
No, that's why I was wondering how to go about it.
How to go?
Yeah, we're currently going to Harbor Regional, and I guess, do I talk to you guys about that to
How old
set
is your
up my son's 4. He'll be 5 in April.
Okay, so I think Harbor Regional usually reaches out to our district to help with planning.
Right.
They may help with that, and they may start the special ed process before he starts. But if they don't, what happens is you enroll as usual, and as soon as the school is identified, you can contact the school to request the beginning of an assessment so they can start the IEP process.
Okay, so basically I go through Lincoln then.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, because they told me to call you guys, and they said that you guys do another assessment, or that's like a different area.
Yes. So if you wanted
Yes.
to, you could do the assessment now for launch, or you can wait until the school year starts and then do it for kindergarten.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Sure, no problem. Any other questions?
Okay, this is my last question. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Do I have to get the release form before the workshop or after, or should I just wait?
You can wait until after. I think most
Okay.
districts probably don't have the release process until January. They may be doing them early, but most school districts, like I know LAUSD doesn't start theirs till February. So
Okay, thank you.
any other questions?
Yeah, so I have one more question.
You have, excuse me?
Yeah, so my son, he's turning 5 in December,
Mhm.
December 17th. Can he still eligible for a transitional kindergarten?
Let me go back to the dates.
What was the date?
She said December 17th for the birthday, and TK is from September 2nd to December 2nd, so that would not qualify for TK.
Okay, and there are no exceptions, like if there is a space, is there anything I can do?
Unfortunately, no. We don't have TK classrooms at all of our schools, so we don't have space for extra students to be able to be flexible about those dates. So unfortunately, no.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah. There were a couple questions in the email, in the chat about how to submit enrollment. So if you do go to our website, Alyssa and Alma were great to be able to develop some little videos on how to enroll right now. So what you're able to do is go to our TUSD website. If you click on enrollment, there's a little school icon. I can see if I can show it to you. Let's see if it works. Oops. There we go. And once you click on our website, you should be able to see, so up here, if you click on enrollments, you can see that there's little videos. And so right here where it says, click here to watch short instructional videos, you can click there to watch videos on how to enroll, or you can click here on the enrollment button. And it provides all the information on what the steps are to enroll. If you click on online enrollment right here on the first drop-down menu, it provides the enrollment packet. Right now, this is the packet for the current school year. So I would not advise you to download the packet now because you will need the new packet for the 21-22 school year, which is not posted. But when it's available, it will be here. And then there's a document you can download on how to submit online. It tells you to try and send everything in one email from one email address. We advise you to only use one email address to communicate with us so we don't lose communication between you and maybe one parent and the other parent, and we don't get confused and lose one of your messages. Also, we remind you of what you need to send us. And in the online submission directions, it tells you, but this is the email address you need to send it to. So if you have questions for us, you can email us at enrollment@tusd.org. All right, any other questions?
Can I have a little tidbit on immunizations that I get asked every now and then. I know with everything going on, there's been some questions that we've gotten from families as far as whether doctors' offices are still giving immunizations. And I can tell you, doctors' offices are still giving immunizations, so they haven't stopped doing that. The clinics are still open for them. So if you're trying to make an appointment for your student to get immunized, I would call your pediatrician and just let them know you are looking for the immunizations for school entry. And what a lot of doctors' offices are doing right now is they have where you can go in specifically just to get the shot. So you don't have to go meet with the doctor. You're not having to go through the offices, but they can set up a pretty quick appointment for you where you take your child in, you receive the immunizations, they can give you the record, but you're not having to do the whole physical. Now that differs from doctor to doctor, of course, so I can't speak for everyone, but I know that they're still very much encouraging that you do go forward and you stay on the schedule to receive those shots for school entry. And also, if you don't have a family doctor, just reach out to us. We can always give you clinic information, or for the little company of Mary, they have a mobile van that does immunizations as well, and it goes to different locations in the South Bay. So if you're in need of that information, we're happy to provide it for you. Just shoot us an email or call us and we can send that to you.
All righty. Do we have any more questions? It looks like somebody was asking for specific dates, so I will leave it here. on the last, the slide that probably is the most relevant. So if you want to take a screenshot, feel free. I think we already have it on the website, actually, now that I'm recalling, for you to download, but these are the dates. So if you know what school pertains to you, you can note down the dates of when you need to send in your enrollment packet. Okay? Any more?
Hi, I'm sorry. I have one last question.
Yeah.
So when do we need to submit a form of proof of residence and then the proof of age?
So when you submit the enrollment packet, so when you enroll during this week, you're going to send in a packet of about 5 pages that you have to fill out, plus your proofs of residence, your immunizations, and your ID. And I think I said the proofs of age. So it could be the birth certificate or the passport. So those things you have to send all together in one email to enrollment@tusd.org during this. Okay.
Oh, during this week. Oh, the one specified on this slide.
Yes, during the week.
Okay, got it.
For your school.
Okay, thank you so much.
Of course, no problem. Any other questions? Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording for now, and we will be available if you have any questions. You can